And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. And David said to Saul, "Let no man's heart fail because of him. Thy servant will go and fight with this Philistine." And Saul said to David, "Thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth." David said moreover, "The Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion, and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine." And Saul said unto David, "Go, and the Lord be with thee." And he took his staff in his hand, and chose him 5 smooth stones out of the brook, and put them in a shepherd's bag which he had, even in a scrip. And his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. Then said David to the Philistine, "Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield. But I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied. This day will the Lord deliver thee into mine hand." And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag, and took thence a stone, and slang it, and smote the Philistine in his forehead, that the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth. So David prevailed over the Philistine with the sling and with the stone. I think the reason that I love the story of David and Goliath so much, and it's one of my favorite stories that I've had the opportunity to study this past year in seminary, is because it talks about how David is still in his youth, but he already knows that he can do this great thing, and he can overcome this great challenge that is Goliath. I love this story because we can compare it to the youth of our church today. They are divinely inspired, and here at this particular time for a specific reason. They have been saved for this time because they will be one of the stronger members of not only the church but of our society today. They will be the kind of people that make a difference, that overcome the big hard challenges and the Goliaths of the world. They will be the examples of what's right, and they will be blessed and protected because they have the Lord on their side. Abraham 3:22-23. Now the Lord had shown unto me, Abraham, the intelligences that were organized before the world was, and among all these there were many of the noble and great ones. And God saw these souls, that they were good, and he stood in the midst of them, and he said, These I will make my rulers. For he stood among those that were spirits, and he saw that they were good. And he said unto me, Abraham, thou art one of them. Thou wast chosen before thou wast born. And he said unto me, and he said unto you, thou art one of them. Thou wast chosen before thou wast born.